Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
What's happening? You threw me off, man. I didn't know how to do that.
I was just talking to you guys before we went on that the wife and kids are staying at the in-laws tonight. So I dipped into the vodka instead of just the beer first thing. So I'll probably be a little off the entire night.
What do I crack?
I mean, my biggest concern was to not have a beer ready to crack open in the very beginning, and then it got to that point, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now.
And this is what?
Yeah, I'm a disaster.
You have been drinking. I'm happy.
I have been. Yeah, exactly. So welcome back, guys. Hope you guys had a good week.
Indeed, absolutely. I don't know. I don't got anything else.
Fantastic. I love the way we have. I love that back and forth that we have, where we can really just kind of keep it going and keep it natural. It's fun. It's fun. It's fantastic.
The thing is, we're bad at the small talk because we're all so tight knit.
Exactly. I can just kind of read you. I can look at your face, and be like, oh yeah, you went to the park this weekend. Maybe you hit up a brewery, and Tim was at the pool the entire time. I can just read your faces. You're the only one.
I know.
Well, I don't know if I can't talk.
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah. My brother-in-law up here, my last weekend up here, he took the weekend off and he just wanted to drink and cook and eat on Sunday or Saturday, whatever day of the week it was. And so I did that, and I was surprised how not hungover I was the next morning. So,
nice. That's all day.
It's so bad when you wake up the next morning from playing cornhole like 3 or 4 times and your arm is sore. I'm like, how my arm sore from playing cornhole?
Yeah, shouldn't that be your butthole?
Okay.
Heyo.
So leading into Alabama, we have a bus going to Auburn for the game. And actually, so I don't know if we talked about this before or not, but I just noticed this today. Hey, do you know that, Ryan, that Mike Bobo is the offensive coordinator for Auburn?
No, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was reading something on some college football message board or something like that. And they made a comment about Bobo's offense and being stagnant at the beginning of the season or something against us, or whatever. I don't know. And I wait, what? Like the Bobo, like the one that we've heard about in Georgia forever, and then. Well,
so as long as we can stuff the run up the middle, we're good. We're golden.
Well, that was a big part of our game last season.
Yeah. We'll be fine. It turns out, all right, good. That makes me feel a lot better about this game. We're going to win. We're not even the underdogs anymore.
Wait, but he's defensive coordinator, not a defensive coordinator. How are we going to? Are we always stop?
We
the run?
Stop their run.
Stop their run. Yeah. See, this is going to be a long night, guys.
So that was the big complaint. Is he'd put up big numbers. He'd get into the red zone, and then he would just run up the middle, like 100% of the time.
4 times in a row, sometimes. Yeah.
He'd do the exact thing that you would expect, would come out of. It's like a robot or something. But they'll get to the red zone. I promise. And if we can stop them on the big plays, then once they're there, we just stuff them up the middle and we're done.
So we should.
Once they're there, we have their plans.
Yeah.
Right.
We should all pick up the Auburn kicker in our fantasy team, our college fantasy teams. That week,
as long as we can stop the big plays, because he'll call some pretty big plays. So.
Can they do that now? Because they don't have college fantasy football like they have NFL fantasy football. But with the name, image, and likeness stuff, can they start doing college fantasy football?
Probably, but I don't know if is that why there isn't? Is that why? Because CBS Sports was doing fantasy college for a little while.
Yeah, but wasn't it like pick'ems? It wasn't like players or selecting individual people. It was like you could pick the Auburn offense versus the Clemson special teams versus the head coach of another team and weird stuff like that. I don't know. I never did.
You could probably license it from the teams, because that's what EA Sports was doing, right? They were licensing.
And I got shut down the year after we joined the FBS, so we literally snuck into the last issue of the game.
Yeah. Did either of you guys hear anything about the name, image, likeness from any Georgia State players?
No, according to the Oracle of Ben, there's been some players that have taken advantage of a few things, but I didn't see anything that was big or significant. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of small things here and there that these guys can do. I would think that at least at our program right now, it's mostly going to be like social media type stuff.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I saw that was kind of cool that I hadn't even thought of, and it was some running back had done it, but they created kind of a merch website for themselves.
Right.
And so they were selling like their own merchandise on their own website. So they hadn't licensed themselves out, but they are using their own name, image, likeness to sell things directly, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. I know that there's been some players from other schools. Are you talking about other schools? Talking about
yeah. I didn't see anything from Georgia State, but I saw from other schools, and we just hadn't talked about that. So like I hadn't given that any thought. I didn't realize that was an option, and it's kind of like opens up some cool like entrepreneurial, options.
I feel like I saw a player doing cameos too. They were like, whatever you want them to say or do, they'll do it for a couple bucks.
Show up to my birthday party.
I think, well, on camera,
think it's virtual, but
right?
You could ask them. Quad Brown to your birthday party, Ryan.
That'd be cool. I'm not paying you. I'm your fan.
Have you guys ever done a cameo before?
What do you mean?
Not you. Like their website Cameo.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not famous enough to have done a cameo.
No, I mean, have you guys ever bought any cameos before?
I don't know what that means.
No.
So there's a website Cameo where like some at best case B celebrities will get on there. Mostly it's like has-beens and whatever's, and you can pay them. They have different rates, and they'll record like a little 60-second, 30, or 3-minute little video for you. Typically, people do it for like, hey, my brother's a huge fan of yours. Can you just wish him happy birthday? And so they'll record a little segment saying, hey, happy birthday. Thanks for being a fan, blah, 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 blah. Website called Cameo. We did it for some friends of ours that got married during the pandemic. And we just bought like a bunch of like celebrities from like their favorite TV shows, whatever. But we got, what was the lady's name? The Baskins, the Tiger King lady, the Baskins.
Yeah. Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins. She came on as an available person. Like after the group had pulled our money together and we agreed these are the people we're going to get. We did that, and then Carol Baskins became available for dirt cheap for like I don't know, like $50 or something. And so we did it. Like the next day, apparently her rates, like she got so hit up big, her rates went to $250 a person. So we got Carol Baskins to wish them happy wedding. Anyhow,
did she admit having murdered her husband?
Yeah,
that's the thing we asked her to say in there, and surprisingly enough, she did not answer that whatsoever at all.
Yeah, so. that's messed up, man. I feel like you should have got your money back.
This is kind of Panther related because Tigers are Panthers, so we're still on topic right now. We've not diverted. Well, they're a member of the Panthera class of cat.
Are they?
So we should just call ourselves the Pantheras.
Yeah, like in Thundercats, wasn't that?
There is no such thing as a single cat that is a panther. So
no, that was Panthro. That was Panthro, wasn't it, on Thundercats? Yeah. There's no single cat that's called a panther, but there's a class called Panthera, which includes all your large cats, such as tigers, I think. Anyhow.
No, it's not. Oh, wait. No. Oh, no. So here, tiger. Oh, it says Panthera tigris, largest member of the cat family, rivaled only by the lion, which is Panthera leo. All right, so there's like different panthers. Whatever.
I think we're actually starting on a rabbit hole here.
I'm done.
We can start inviting the Pounces Kids Club to this podcast to listen to this because we're going to be teaching them about cat classes and things like that, right?
I think it's interesting. All right, this is like the whole point of this podcast is what 3 people would talk about at the bar, and I would have Googled this shit and started talking to you guys about the Panther family.
That's absolutely true, and I have done the same many times at bars because I kill off those brain cells while I'm at the bar, and I forget all the things that I've learned.
There's no way we haven't all had this in our brain at some point or another.
Of course. It's just never been at the exact same time.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Just one last note. Yeah, we are going to Auburn on a bus trip, so check it out. I have a banner thing for that. Got a bus picking up from Atlanta somewhere. Still can't find anybody from Summerhill to talk to me about the parking lots. But going down there, check it out. Auburn.atlanta.com for your tickets, and I'll harass you at the end of the show as well.
You just pull it up in front of my house.
All right, we'll get 56 cars to park in front of your house. Sounds good.
Get on
the bus
folks.
might not even fit on my street.
I don't know if they can make that turn. I don't really know if they can make that turn to get under your street. Anyhow,
if it's not selling too well, there's booze on the bus. I mean,
yeah, we're sponsored. Yeah, and you can bring your own if you don't like what we have, or you don't think we'll have enough because you got a couple of raging alcoholics down there drinking everything, which is fair, which is very, very fair. You can bring your own booze, just no glass bottles. Cool. So there were college football news. Started to think they were, writing about the Sun Belt, and they suck. They have no idea what they're talking about. They put out 2 articles this week. One was about like predicting the schedule win-losses for all the Sun Belt teams, and then following that up with their bowl predictions. And it didn't look good for us. I don't know if you guys took a look at it.
I didn't take a look at it. But I will say that a lot of people are taking a look at our schedule and making predictions based on the strength of schedule alone, saying that we have a pretty tough road. We might be good, but like we got to beat some pretty darn good teams too.
What do you think, Tim?
I mean, I can see it. 5-7 is their prediction, but I think a lot of those games last year we lost by a couple points here and there. I think we flip a lot of those L's that they have projected to W's. And you could see that at 7-5.
Well, I didn't like it because out of the gate they have us losing to Auburn, and like Vegas doesn't even have us losing to Auburn. Like, why would you even? Auburn.
Vegas doesn't have us losing to Auburn.
Army. I'm still looking at that Auburn bus trip thing. Army. They have us losing to Army out of the gate. And I just don't see it happening. We're favored by Vegas. I don't think we're favored by enough by Vegas. I think they're going to be a tough team, no doubt about it. But I think with the entire offseason to prepare for Army and what they run, I don't see a reason why the result is any different than when they came to town 2 years ago.
Devil's advocate, we tend to have a weak showing right out of the gate.
But that's against FCS teams. we have a hard showing against FCS teams, and unless you are the one going on to here to call one of our branches of military an FCS squad, then I'm saying when we play a P5 team in week 1, we have a pretty good record.
David, you know me, and you know that I was already preparing to crack that joke. So I don't know what you want, man.
So I thought having us losing to Army up front was bogus, and that right there that makes us bowl eligible if you just flip flop that one.
Sure.
So, and the over under is 5.5. That puts us on the over. I still think we're doing better than a 6-6 season this year. I think we're finally going to get over the hump of one of App and Lafayette, and I think we beat the snot out of Coastal. And by snot out of, maybe a last-minute field goal win, but we're going to beat them.
But since they're a rival, that will be beating the snot out of them.
I think this is – our schedule is difficult between the out-of-conference P5s and that little – what was I calling it last week? Like that murderous row or like the nightmare in November. The nightmare in November. I think we get out of that. Was it at Coast or at Southern, at Lafayette, and at Coastal all 3 weeks in a row in November? I think we get out of that doing pretty good. I think we have our best regular season ever.
I think we snag at least 7 wins this year. I'm feeling good about it. And, I think 2-2 coming out of that first 4 is definitely realistic. 3-1, ecstatic, and shit. If we were 4-0 coming out of there, we're the Coastal of 2021, right?
I don't ever want to be associated with a team in the Sun Belt. So don't call us the Coastal of 2021. Prue, who's watching right now, says, what do they say about Coastal? They're still, stroking them pretty hard.
I think they're 15-0, right? Isn't that what they have on them?
15-0?
Yeah. I think they have them going to the NFC Championship, actually. I'm not sure exactly. No, I think
People are still pretty high on them. Their quarterback didn't leave, and that's who everybody's very high on.
All the subjective ranking, all the little writers out there trying to make money on coming up with articles are really high on them, I feel like. But if you look at any objective scores, they're still pretty good, but they drop significantly when you look at computer rankings and metrics and stuff like that. But yeah, the quarterback's good. We'll talk about the quarterbacks a little bit later on too.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, so they have them at 10-2. very suspect writing. They have Coastal losing to Georgia Southern. Sorry, that's not happening.
Maybe that was like a toss-up. They had to pick one upset or something, and they just picked that one. I don't know. That does seem weird.
One thing about this article was it was just riddled with errors. I almost cursed. Their ranking of the East is App and Coastal tied for first place, with App going 9-3 and Coastal going 10-2. Explain to me how two teams have different records and are tied.
I couldn't.
Maybe it's conference. Maybe it's conference.
It is. I don't want to look at it, but I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, it's got to be that. It's got to be conference. I was looking at overall records. It's got to be Coastal conference. But that's still. They have App and Coastal tied for first. They've got the Trash Down South and Troy tied for third, and Georgia State coming in dead last. But the funny thing is, they have Georgia State beating Troy beating the Trash, and then the Trash beating us. And I don't know why you pick, at this point, why do you ever pick Georgia Southern to beat Georgia State?
I don't know. I mean, rivalries are weird.
School's back right there.
Rivalries are weird, but I think if there's one thing we've established in this, since we've had football, is that the Georgia Southern of the years ago, the Six Flags of garbage they have, just don't hold up against Georgia State. It's one of the few teams we actually have a winning record against.
That's the thing, is even when we're doing poor, which is, a lot of years, we still seem to be able to like put it up against them, even when they're doing okay. And that's like the nature of a rivalry. So you gotta look at it and be like, well, they're kind of down and we're kind of up. So like rivalry might do something weird there. I don't know, man. I would never call that. I would never put that on a preseason, like as a preseason L. That doesn't make any sense.
The only thing I can think is they're going with the home team. Like if this game was being played in Atlanta, they would have.
Isn't that even more in our favor?
Oh, maybe that's it. They have them losing. They have Coastal losing to Southern at Southern, so maybe that's their like giving it a home field advantage. But I was just looking at Coastal's schedule. It's freaking horrible. It's like a cakewalk.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a cakewalk.
What's the Sun Belt doing? They're like, oh, you did so well last year. Here's another easy schedule to plow.
Well,
they still have to play the East, right? I mean,
the rotation was already set for Coastal. I mean, for all of us going into the year. But look at Coastal's out of conference record. I don't have it in front of me, but they've got a Buffalo that's lost a bunch of teams. They've got, I think, Oakland with Citadel, Kansas would take, which all due Coastal has established they can beat Kansas. That's their P5 whipping boy. They got that one. So they got Citadel and Buffalo and Kansas, and I forget who.
You're calling Coastal versus Kansas a win for Coastal right now.
Well, they're 2-0 against Kansas so far. So
you just, no matter what, this year it's done.
I mean, I'm saying if I'm picking the game, yeah, I'm picking Coastal in that game.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
I mean, they're going to be 5-0 coming out of the gate. They follow that up with UMass, and then they have our friends at ULM.
Yeah. So
here's some wins. Have them.
And you talk about football being, well, in most sports being a game of momentum. Yeah, you get off to a 5-0 start. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling really good about yourself.
Yeah.
Until November 13th.
Yes. Retribution.
Just double check that was us.
I was about to say, is that us? Like, what are we talking about here?
Southern, so.
They're playing App State.
I'm assuming that was us.
I read Georgia. All right.
I don't think they're playing another. Well, I guess they're playing Trash Down South. But
I would hope that our guys like get up for that game though, just because of like how bad last season was. I mean, it was like atrocious, and then to think that game was the outlier, and then also I think Coastal season, like you say, David, I like to give you a hard time, but like I think that their season was definitely an outlier. There's no way that they continue on with what they did, and I think our guys get up for that game. So
I like to think that I am the spirit animal of Georgia State football, and I don't know if you remember exactly, Ryan, but I was not on my A game that day. I had a hard time drinking the beer. I was pretty hungover from my little Zoom call the night before, and I was not able to get up for that game. So I'm assuming that's what happened to our guys and why we played so piss poorly in it.
We showed up. We had a good party at my house.
I puked in the bathroom. I puked in your bathroom before all the Coastal fans crapped in your bathroom.
Puking shit, Ryan's house. All right.
David, you can shit in my bathroom. Okay.
I puked in your bathroom.
You can do.
Actually,
it's fine.
Actually, I think I did both. Not at the same time, but like
all good. All good,
yeah.
my friend. I have done worse than you could possibly do to your bathroom. So.
I want to rip on this college football news a little bit more.
Yeah, go for it.
They have Coastal and Troy. They have under Coastal section. They have Coastal beating Troy, and in Troy section they got Troy beating Coastal. So,
which is it?
Yeah. So that and they currently have Troy ranked above us. That would at least have Troy tied with us. Yeah, so they're garbage there, and then at the end of every little section of every team, they did a little preview. We talked about their preview of us. They have their preview of a link to our preview of our game and our season, and they refer to us as trash down south.
Yeah.
So, you know what else is great about that article? It's got
not
winning. Huh?
What's great about that article? I got nothing great about that article.
They have App State as I guess it's the Myrtle Beach Bowl champions as their photo.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. It's like trolling Coastal. I love it.
Well, that's what I want to talk about next. Was they followed that article up the next day with their bowl predictions, and obviously we got left out of it at 5-7, which we're not going 5-7. 6-6 is our worst case scenario this year. I'll put tens of cents against it.
Troy's going 5-7 because they can't both beat each other unless there's some weird rule in football this year where two teams can get a W.
Yeah, it's not even a tie. It's 2 wins, right?
Right.
Yeah. They had the bowl predictions. They had Coastal going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl. They had Coastal playing a bowl game at their own home field. There's no way they're going to do that.
Pure excitement there, right?
I mean, what part of the whole concept of bowl games is getting the fan base into traveling somewhere and generating revenue for a city. And all right, cool. I guess I'll wake up and drive to the game like I do every week. Or, I mean, having people go to Coastal games. I don't know, both of them. I like that I'm making fun of attendance, and I'm a Georgia State fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably should refrain from that one. Just back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna beat them. They're gonna be 9-0. We're gonna come into Conway, not Myrtle Beach, and we're gonna beat them. You're gonna beat the teal chicken.
The sea chickens.
Sea chickens.
They'll be quick to tell you that it's only about 20 miles away from Myrtle Beach, though. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but when we were playing in the Georgia Dome, that was too far away from campus to be considered a home stadium.
Did anybody from Coastal say anything about that?
I have never paid attention to anything anyone from Coastal's ever said.
Okay, all right. I doubt they did. I doubt they gave us very much thought back then. So,
if there's a hurricane, I guess the beach gets closer.
Oh,
maybe.
Wow!
Storm surge.
Tim just come out swinging.
I hope there's a hurricane that comes through and washes all that garbage teal off the field.
So Hurricane GFU.
So just rips up the turf.
Yeah, Hurricane Panther. I like that. So they did their bowl predictions. They had Coastal playing at home, which is totally stupid. They have Trash Down South going back to Orlando against Western Kentucky.
Wait, but so maybe this whole thing, they just got us confused and they just got us mixed up.
I have to believe. I looked to see who wrote the article, but College Football News just lists their author as College Football News. It's got to be a piece of garbage Southern fan that, or at least someone who was probably maybe an App State fan, honestly.
Maybe they just didn't give a shit and they just literally flip-flopped it. They literally were just counting us as if we were Georgia Southern and counting them as if they were Georgia State.
Not like it would have been the first time.
I know. That's right. I mean, you said you clicked on the link to the recap or whatever, the little description, and it was them.
Oh, no. That's the thing is that the link was actually correct. It went to the right page. It just was labeled like there. It says Georgia State 2021 prediction. Army, North Carolina, blah 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 blah. Season preview, Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm just going to chalk this up to SEO gaming, and they won because you clicked on it.
I hovered.
I see what you're talking about.
I didn't click.
That's the two links. It says Georgia Southern 2020.
David, it's awesome. Never just the tip.
Just the tip.
I clicked on it. Sorry.
Yeah, I try to. Well, I've talked about this ad nauseum before. I refuse to click on any Georgia Southern links at all. I don't want to give anybody that one click credit. If I know who they're playing and I want to know the time of the game, I'll go to that other team's schedule to look and see what time Southern's playing them.
Behind said link, David, there is a @ Pete Futak. So maybe he's the author.
Pete Futak. All right, Pete.
Futak.
Pete Attack.
Sometimes I wish I had a more unique name than David Brown, and then I hear about a name like Pete Futak, and I'm like, I'm glad no one has to struggle on my name. It's pretty easy.
Futak. I don't know. Whatever. I can't pronounce it.
Barone.
So there you go. You have to click on the link that said Georgia Southern to go to Georgia State to see who wrote it.
Gotcha. Well, I'm done with that. They also.
All right. Enough of that.
I think we've killed that subject.
Probably.
There are a couple articles that came out about quarterback rankings, like Pro Football Focus did a ranking of all the amateur quarterbacks.
Well, wait, whoa! They're no longer amateurs. We've discussed this. We've destroyed amateurism, which is fine.
They're not employees, but they're not paid to play. They're paid to be who they are.
Well, they're not paid. They're not employees yet. But isn't there a lawsuit for that?
They're freelancers.
I'm sure there's a lawsuit for everything. Either way, they ranked all the quarterbacks, 130 teams, whatever. And Cornelius Brown quad comes in at 76 out of 130 teams. So
that's not great. That's not as good as I would have expected.
And that stupid Grayson McCall from Coastal comes in number 7. They've ranked 7th best quarterback in college
in the country.
And,
wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the world of college football.
I mean, I guess because one country plays. So
I mean, you gotta think if he was that good, some P5 would have stolen him this year.
Well, that was a big surprise that he came back. A lot of people thought he would either transfer or go pro. I don't know what year he is.
Does he have a lucrative NIL deal?
I don't know. Are you wanting to offer it? Are you wanting to talk to him about getting a deal going on?
No, I'm very interested in this name, image, likeness stuff. Okay, David.
Oh, sorry, I got bored doodling because you were talking.
Jesus Christ.
No, you would think that somebody that gets ranked, but so that kind of leads into my next topic. Ryan, you sent a link out this morning from 680 The Fan, and Buck Bellew, who I thoroughly enjoy hearing him talk. He ranked the top 10 quarterbacks in the Deep South, as he put it. And not only does he not think that Grayson McCall is top 7 in the nation, he doesn't think he's top 7 in the Deep South. Like, he came in 8th on Buck Bellew's rankings, and that's
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say he was on that list lower than
yeah, but yeah, with 130 or 129 quarterbacks to go against, that Pro Football Focus puts him number 7 with 9 quarterbacks to go against. He comes in 8th.
Yeah, it looked like North Carolina was as far north as that anyone ranked went, and maybe was it like Louisiana is as far west?
But he still found 7 quarterbacks better than him that are just in the South, just in the South region.
Yeah.
So and Quad did come in number 10 in there, and I like to believe that he believes that Quad is the 10th best quarterback in the South, but I also think that he probably was just trying to include the hometown guy on there. But he didn't include.
Why? No one does. No one does that anyway.
He didn't include Georgia or Tech in there. I actually did include Georgia. JT Daniels came in. It can't be third.
I thought it was kind of nice too, because he sort of gave a nod to, like, you should all be kind of surprised at this, but there is sort of this diamond in the rough, this gem that is hidden over at Georgia State that you guys might not know about. He is puts out all kinds of crazy output. So
I think that Quad is bound for a breakout year of the likes of Dan Ellington. I think we may see a year 2 Quad look very similar to a year 2 Dan, and let's just hope that it ends healthy.
Yeah,
but I really think so. I think you look at one, he's got Dan helping him out there on the field. He's a coach.
Yeah,
you saw the numbers, the way he performed last season. I think that we could very well be looking at it. That's why I feel so high about this team this season, is I really think that with all the returning players we have coming back, especially with the receivers that Quad's got to throw to, we should have another electric offense. And don't sleep on the Panthers.
Yeah. I think a lot of – oh, go ahead, Tim.
Sorry. UNC and Auburn, sleep on the Panthers. Definitely sleep on the Panthers, UNC and Auburn. The rest of you, people that are watching at home, you don't sleep on them whatsoever at all. So, Sam, what you got?
No, I think, he's going to take a huge step forward this year. He had a full slate of Sun Belt action. He's got that behind him. I think you'll see less picks, right? He had like this thing about throwing a pick, one of the first couple series of every game, it felt like. I think he's going to calm down there. I think he's going to get more accurate, and I think he's going to know when to pass and when to like tuck it and run. I think you're going to see a huge, huge leap forward with Quad this year.
This is going to be a big year for Georgia State. Like I said earlier, I think we win one of at least of the two against Lafayette and App State. We beat Coastal. I'm committed to that, and we beat Southern. I'm committed to that as well. So
we're committed to that every year, though, right?
I'm never going to say that.
Even when we don't think we're going to win, we're going to say there's a chance we're going to win. Yep.
Yeah, we always. Yeah. I'll never pick against.
Which was like one of the first years, right? I mean, yeah.
I think the picks.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, I think picks start coming from just having such trust in your wide receivers, because our wide receivers are so good. You have, you have like, just as like a Georgia fan, right? You have like Matthew Stafford, who's throwing to AJ Green, and then he's throwing to Megatron in the NFL. And like, you look at him, he's got an arm on him. He's not super accurate, but you put it up in the general direction of these guys, and they're going to catch it. And I think you get so much trust in it that like you kind of take some chances, and sometimes those don't work out for you. And that's why if you actually look at some of those, they'll say, yeah, he threw a lot of picks, but actually it didn't actually change a lot of outcomes of the game. It didn't seem like, because, he's still putting up crazy numbers. So,
yeah. I think that the picks come down between, really just getting another year of experience underneath him, and the chemistry between him and the receivers. Everyone gets better. The longer you do your job, you get better.
Well, there is the sophomore slump, right? That's a common thing that ends up happening.
Not at Georgia State. Not at Georgia State.
That's
There's
true.
not.
That's
Nick
true.
Arbuckle comes in and we win one game his first season. We go to a bowl game his next. Connor Manning comes in, wins 2 games his first season. We go and we win our first bowl game the next. Dan comes in, 2 games and bowl game, and then and now we got Quad, who's already done well in his first year. No.
All right,
we're not.
I'm shutting down. I'm wrong. It's cool.
We're gonna leap.
The sophomore leap. I like it. A sophomore leap. I try to write stuff down. I'm not going to get stuck without having episode title names.
hey, I've been pretty good about sticking stuff in the private chat for the last 2 or 3 episodes.
You have been good. You've been good about that. You've been good.
Except for today, I don't know about
what that. I put a good one in there.
He already put one in there, and I wrote it down because like last time you put it in there, and then I left the studio thing and it got lost, and I had no idea what it was. And you forgot what it was.
I have a picture that goes with that one, actually, from our old favorite bar. Yeah.
I wrote, so just so everybody knows, I wrote "Let's Get Weird" in all caps in the private chat earlier.
I've got it right here. My handwritten notes. Let's get weird. What do you have a pick from Bada Bings, Tim? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It goes right with that statement.
Which statement?
Let's get weird.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, cool. All right. Well, now I have.
That sounds like a last call.
You got a last call for us?
All right. Well, we're still. There's another thing I want to talk about before we get to last call. So the Hall of Fame nominations opened up, and I'm not asking you guys to tell me who you think should be inducted to the Hall of Fame this cycle, but if you have anybody, I'm open for it.
Like Georgia State Hall of Fame? Is that?
No, the World Hall of Fame, like the world, like when we're going to put this, Elon Musk is sending out a satellite that's going to have people
David, there
engraved
are a
on gold
number
plates.
of Hall of Fames in between those two things. Just saying, just throwing
And
it
how
out
many?
there.
And how
We
many do you
actually in
think?
Atlanta have a college football Hall of Fame that exists.
And how many Hall of Fames do you think I'm going to talk about on a Georgia State focused podcast?
David, I thought it was weird. Okay, I thought it was weird that you were going to bring up the other one. I just wanted to know.
All right, to specify, the Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame nominations for the 2021. I guess it's 2021. That's the year it is now, right?
The Voice isn't in it, right? Because he's not retired. That's
who's not?
The Voice.
I think he is, but I don't think he should go in until he retires.
I don't care. I was gonna say if he's not there, he should be.
Well, Ben pointed out that Will Lutz is now eligible. Do you guys think that Will Lutz should go into Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think that's fair. So I mean, it's hard to say because how did he do here? He was okay, right? That last year he wasn't that good, right?
Good.
I'm glad you asked that.
Stats?
I'm glad you asked that question, Ryan, because I have, despite the team that Will Lutz plays for, I have the utmost respect for him and what he did for Georgia State and what he can continue doing as being an NFL player that came from Georgia State. But it seemed a little odd to me that we would put him into the Hall of Fame based off of his career year. So I went back and looked. I looked at the stats and see where he stood. And he's a leader. He's the points leader for the program, 213
Always
points.
Always a kicker.
Always a kicker. Well, number 3 in our all points. So number 1 is Will Lutz at 213 points. Brandon Wright, a kicker, at 200 points. And then Albert Wilson, 156 points.
Is he in? Is Albert Wilson in yet?
Eligible Wilson did not graduate, so he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, bullshit. We give him a pass. It's fine.
Honorary degree.
So point leader Will Lutz is there. For points after Will Lutz is there. He's got 120 points after Brandon Wright comes in second at about 104. But then field goals, Brandon Wright actually has the record, 32-31. Brandon Wright edges out Lutz for that. So I don't think Lutz has numbers that justifies. If you're basing it off his performance at Georgia State alone,
which I think he should. I think that's where you should count.
And I'm assuming they probably want to get his NFL money coming into the program, which I understand. But looking at Noel Ruiz, who is our kicker for 1 year this past year, and he can only kick for one more year. He has just his last year coming up with us this season. But assuming that, if he was able to perform at his caliber last year for 3 more years, he would blow away Will.
Kill it, right?
Yeah. So he had 72 points last year. 1 year. Will had 213. You're talking about, he had a third of Will's points in one season. And
I'm just going to say it was nice not to worry last year about field goals. Like, you felt pretty good when we trot him out there to kick. Previous years, I like Brandon Wright, but there were some misses. You were like, ah.
Now, if Noel were to come back and perform the exact same way for 3 years, he would have 298 career points versus Lutz's 213. If he came back for 3 years, he would have 62 field goals to Brandon Wright's 32, and he would have 132 points after to Lutz's 120. But that's assuming that he performs at the exact same level. And granted, he'd already played several years at whatever South Carolina JUCO he was at or whatever it was. But I don't know. I kind of looked at it and I'm like, I don't think that Will Lutz really unless you just want to give the NFL player arguably the best NFL player in Georgia State's history, really not a lot of competition, just a Hall of Fame thing in hopes that he'd write you a check to the program.
I mean, I think that it should, if it were like two people who were exactly the same at our program, then maybe you would say like you'd give the edge to the person who went to the NFL and had a successful career.
For sure.
That's when you should use it as a tiebreaker.
For sure. And I think that if we don't admit him into the Hall of Fame now and we wait 10 years and these records stand, then sure.
Also, if he like went from New Orleans to literally anywhere else, then like immediately induct him. Just induct him.
On the plane ride, like when JFK was shot, and there's that picture of Lyndon B. Johnson being inaugurated on Air Force One, like on the plane on the Delta flight, just have like some random flight attendant come over and say, "Here, you've now been. Enjoy these almonds. You are now in the Georgia State Hall of Fame."
So
sorry, Ryan. The Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame.
So maybe we could do that. Like, maybe we could vote, but we make it so that it's only on the condition that he leaves New Orleans. And so as soon as he leaves New Orleans, he'll be in our Hall of Fame. But until that point, he's not.
I'm on board with that.
So outside of Will Lutz, what do y'all think? Let's put Ron Hunter in there.
No,
I think Ron Hunter belongs in the Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame. Absolutely, 100%.
No and a yes.
I say 100%. I mean, I don't care about the circumstances in which he left. I mean, I don't know. You want to Pete Rose him and wait till give him a posthumous, post-mortem?
I thought he fought dirty, man. He like lied about our program blatantly, got caught in those lies, and I think that's completely inappropriate. We shouldn't honor him.
I hear where you're coming from, but I think we should also. So I don't want to say you want to ignore all off-court performances or things that happen, but I think you do need to honor what happened as far as the production that he performed for the university. And Ron Hunter belongs in the Georgia State Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame.
My brain cells are dead. I don't remember the circumstances you're talking about, Ryan. I'm sure if I did, I would probably think similarly.
Yeah, honestly, I only remember that he lied and got caught in it. I could tell you how next week or tomorrow.
Okay.
An offline conversation.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Other than that, I went back and looked. Is Coach Frady in the Hall of Fame? Because Coach Frady should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
It's a good one. Yeah. I don't know if he is.
He may be, but already.
Maybe some players from under him because they were a pretty high production team. I just don't know a lot about baseball.
That's one of those things where we need to get like Ben or Dave. Dave Cohen would be the person that might give you a really good idea about which players should be in the Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame.
Why do you keep saying it like that?
I know, because you said there's so many different Hall of Fames. I want to make sure that we acknowledge that it's the Georgia State Sports Hall of Fame, not like the Georgia State Hall of Fame of peach growing or something.
That's clearly not what I meant when I said it. I said there's like a college Hall of Fame, college football Hall of Fame that it could have been. That was like the middle.
Why would I talk about?
There's no other Hall of Fame at Georgia State. Like, what are you talking about?
Do they have a listing of this thing? Because I don't. I mean.
If you go to GeorgiaStateSports.com and go to the football. Well, go to GeorgiaStateSports.com. There's Hall of Fame inductees for every year. They only started it.
They don't have like one that just lists them all out.
No, that would be too easy. I looked at that page too.
Wasn't there a women's tennis player a couple of years back that was like internationally famous?
You're talking about Coco Gauff?
Yes, maybe.
Yes,
that sounds right.
She was the daughter of a basketball player for Georgia State, and she was playing in Wimbledon or whatever the golf.
I was gonna say, like she went nuts though, right? She was incredible.
Yeah, I actually, one of my flights back to Atlanta from New York while I've been up here, they had I don't know if it was a replay or live, but I actually watched Coco Gauff. I meant to bring it up, but I killed those brain cells with alcohol and forgot about it till now. I watched her play in a match for a few minutes until my plane took off.
So maybe her, though, you know?
She never went to Georgia State. Her father did. Her father played for Georgia State as a basketball player. She's just
I thought she was on our team.
No. She was way too good to play in college where she went straight pro.
Wow, we just took credit for that.
We were talking because her dad was on the sidelines and cheering her on because she's like 15 years old and she has to have a parent present. So we were talking about seeing him up there. So
I could see like a Shenard Long or RJ Hunter on here.
RJ, apparently, if you're a player, you have to have graduated to be able to be in the Hall of Fame, and RJ has not graduated. So
whatever.
Wait, you make a good point though. If you're a player, so like the coaches who did not go to school do not have to have graduated, obviously, from anywhere.
Right.
In this day and age, this is a technicality, and they should undo it.
That's baloney.
Done.
I'll say stronger words than last call.
So you can break any rule you want to and get wherever you want to go. That is the society we live in. So allow it.
So do you think that? I mean, you're not being compelled to finish your program just to be in the school's Hall of Fame, right? Like,
no.
You're like, I'm already.
You made an impact, a significant impact to Georgia State sports. You should be.
It's an honorable thing anyway, right? It doesn't do anything for you.
No, there's a stipend. You get paid out every millennia.
There's a resort.
You're just making shit up.
Yeah, I am. So Ryan, devil's advocate. You're the great devil's advocate. What is the argument for requiring a degree from a player to be admitted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, no, I don't. I won't.
I know, but I said you like being devil's advocate. Give me if I came out and said you should not require a degree, you would obviously say you must require a degree just to disagree with me. What would be your argument?
Well, wait, but I already came out pretty solidly on you shouldn't have to have a degree.
All right. Well, this segment went great.
Well, I don't know, man. You made me take a position I don't hold. I don't necessarily do devil's advocate on issues that I actually believe in.
All right. Well, that sounds like a very, very boring way to end the episode, but thanks a lot, Ryan.
Well, you put me in a position to defend something I don't believe. What do you want from me?
I guarantee you've been in more awkward positions than this.
Very much.
Earlier today.
Hey. And in about 30 minutes again. All right. Unless you guys got anything else, we'll call this one quits. We're right there at that magic 47-minute mark. So,
nope, I'm good.
I take that as a no. All right, thanks, everybody, for listening. We're gonna head over to last call. Keep going a little bit more, have a few more drinks, talk a little bit more candidly, find out about Ryan's awkward positions. You can find Last Call at patreon.com/State of Atlanta. It's free, available on Fridays, available to our Patreon members immediately, along with access to our private group chats, discounts at our merch store, merch.stateofatlanta.com, discounts on our bus trip at auburn.stateofatlanta.com. Consider joining. Like I said, $3 a month. It's nothing. It's like Sally Struthers asked for more money for kids in Ethiopia than I'm asking for here. So it's not a lot of money, you know?
Boy.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.